roll, please.
Ms. Pena, not in attendance. Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Christensen,
Here.
Mr. Heflin, not in attendance. Mr. James,
Here.
Mr. Watkins.
Here. Good evening. I'd ask you to stand and join us on the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol of brotherly friendships and love united cultures. Okay, we need to approve minutes.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
I'll second. I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. Okay, so let's get to our new business. We have a public hearing for resolution PC number 2023-2024-05. A resolution providing for a replat at 1500 South Avenue G. This would allow a single piece of property to be split into 5 lots in R2 Zone K. So I'll entertain a motion to go into public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to go into public hearing. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Christensen,
Yes.
Ms. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Watkins,
Yes.
Mr. James.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes. Okay, our planning director, Ms. McClellan, is going to fill us in.
Yes, sir. I'll go real quick because I know we do have some people here that are to speak for their application. So this replat is for a large piece of property. It had multiple residences on there. One of those residences was addressed at 1500 South Avenue G. This request is to take the single piece of lot and break it up into 5 different pieces. This area is zoned for multifamily residential living. Just catty corner, there are other apartment buildings. They all meet the minimum lot area. One of the pieces, you'll notice the common area. Our only concern is a little bit landlocked, but we did discuss it, and they'll come up and explain how the easements are going to work to make sure that that piece of land can always be accessed. The plan is to have 4 fourplexes, a common area, and some garages. The total number will be 16 residential units, 59 parking spaces, and 10 garage units. We sent this out to 27 property owners within 200 feet and 5 utilities, 19 certified letters. Receipts were returned. We had 2 property owners that were for it. 1 property owner that wasn't sure. They stated they'd be coming to learn a bit of more information and received 1 positive response from public utilities. I'll step aside, let anyone else explain it unless you have any specific questions for me.
Anyone who would like to speak for or against needs to stand up and be sworn in. Want them to step over there, can they?
Yeah, whoever wants to go first. We'll make you guys stand at the podium.
Or you guys can go over to the podium. Okay.
You'll please state your names.
Chad Lighty.
Antonio Griego.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to or affirm that you will testify truthfully here in the penalty of law?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the Planning Commission. We're here tonight to discuss with you a multifamily development that's being proposed for the northeast quarter of Block 14 in the Leach Town site. And what we have here, I'll just briefly run through it and be glad to stand for any questions. Mr. Griego is actually the contractor that will build it, as well as the owner of these units, and he can tell you the specifics about what he's going to build. But as far as the engineering part of it, I'll run through that quickly. We're going to have 4 residential lots, and then the 1 lot down there that you see as common area There won't be any residential units constructed on that lot, and if we need to put a statement to that effect on the plat, we're certainly willing to do so. What would be on that common area, we're gonna have some garage units that will be available. 10 units for the tenants if they would so choose to have one of those, as well as their normal parking spaces. And then the whole south end there, you can see we've got 2 retention basins that we'll be building to help catch runoff that might be generated from this development. And that way we'll be able to keep it all on site, and we will not be having any stormwater running off to the adjacent properties. The units themselves, they're all 4-plex units. You can see it worked out quite well to where we have quite a few parking spaces available for every lot. And then between lots, we'll have backyards that will be landscaped for the tenants. I have some grading on there that you can see, and the grading issues will work well for stormwater. And the city's responsibility and all the utility companies' responsibilities will end at the alley. The utility extensions for the individual sewer, water, power, TV, cable will be done through private easement through these tracks. So with that being said, I'll let Antonio tell you what he's planning on building, and then we'd be glad to stand for any questions.
Yeah, thank you, Chad. Like Chad said, we're doing all 4-plexes. They're gonna be all brick units. They're 2-bedroom, 2-bath units. All landscaped, all concrete parking lots. Real clean and simple, nothing real fancy to them. So, that's all I gotta say. Yeah,
What kind of roofs will be on them?
they'll all be all hip roofs. Shingle roofs, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, explain to me this 24-foot, that is the access into the common area to park the cars?
Yes, ma'am.
And so that will be available to all residents.
Yes, and we'll write cross easements for all the tracks to where they can travel from one to another. And we'll put that in a written document and file the record.
Where's the sanitation dumpsters and stuff like that? Will it be alleys, or does it sound like it's within our 3 miles?
No, this is.
Right. Okay. As far as dumpsters and stuff like that. Right here.
The alleys.
I guess
All
it'll
be
be
in the
out.
alleys, yes.
See right here?
Yeah, you can notice there, we've got some concrete sidewalks that we're gonna be putting in various locations there that will allow access to the alleyway in 3 separate locations there.
Right, pretty much all the 5 foot, that's
Right.
sidewalks, it's 5 foot sidewalks.
Yes, sir. Mr. Grego is building several of these units in the community of Clovis, and they're very popular right now. There seems to be a really high demand for these type units through our Air Force neighbors as well as single family, and so they've been a real popular thing.
It looks like a really nice plan. Any questions, anyone?
Answered mine.
That's what you want as well?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No more comments, I'll entertain a motion to go out of public hearing.
Make that motion.
Second,
A motion and a second to go out of public hearing. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Christensen,
Yes.
Ms. Bennett,
yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Heflin,
Yes.
Mr. James,
Yes.
Mr. Watkins,
Yes.
Okay, we're back in regular meetings. Well, I will entertain a motion to either approve. Not approve, the replat at 1500 South Avenue G.
Make a motion, we approve the replat.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Christensen,
Yes.
Ms. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Heflin,
Yes.
Mr. James,
Yes.
Mr. Watkins,
Yes.
Okay, so that's been approved, and it will go to the city council
Not tomorrow, but 2 weeks from tomorrow.
2 weeks.
Well, we thank you. We think they're gonna really have a nice product.
That would be nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming. Okay, our next new business item is public hearing for resolution PC number 2023-2024-06, a resolution providing for a zone change at 1400 South Avenue D. This would change a C2 zone to an M1 zone for the purpose of a micro grow. I will entertain a motion to go into public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go into public hearing. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Christensen,
Yes.
Mr. Heflin,
Yes. Yes.
Ms. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. James.
Yes.
Mr. Watkins,
Yes.
Okay, we're in public hearing. Ms. McClellan?
Yes, sir. So a zone change has been applied for 1400 South Avenue D. This is gonna be Smith Chiropractic on Smith Chiropractic, I guess, just on South Avenue D. It's gonna be in that main building in some of the offices. So it's a C2 currently, which allows for general retail, but it does not allow for a micro grow for cannabis. So the request is to have it changed to an M1, which is light manufacturing, to allow that micro grow. This would satisfy his zoning requirements needed for his permits with the city. However, the applicant's still gonna have to go through the resources, the water stuff, which is completely separate from us. But this is the first step moving with that application. We sent out 9 letters to property owners within 100 feet and 5 utilities. We had 7 certified receipts returned. We have 1 inquiry from a property owner who was against the proposal. They did not state why, but said they would probably be coming to the meeting. We received 1 positive from public utilities. And then we had 2 other calls come in and claimed that they would probably come to the meeting before they made a decision. So I don't have a yes or no on that. The only recommendation I have is if this is approved, there is a permitted building and an unpermitted building on this premises. That we recommend that the permitted building be able to be used for cannabis. But if it goes to the unpermitted building, since it was built in a flood zone, that we can pull those permits if that building is used. That just kind of helps us control unpermitted building in our flood zone and our city limits. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to stand for them.
And contingent on getting all the water
Yes,
permits and.
yeah, and that would be through the water utilities, and I believe that does go to council, the Public Works Committee and through city council for approval. No more questions? I'll take
questions. So if there's anyone here who would like to speak for or against, ask them to stand up and get sworn in.
Speak for it as well.
Okay.
That works. We'll let her go first, so it's Ryan right
And
after.
then we'll let you go. Thank you.
please state your name
Born in Baca.
and raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to affirm that you will testify truthfully here under penalty of law?
I'm sorry, I did not realize that this was what this was, the mini grow, the micro grow. And I, as a citizen of Portales, we have water issues and everything else like this. And I think that if we're gonna stop this before it goes to city, it needs to be stopped right now. We do not need any more areas of cannabis coming into Portales. It's bad enough that we're driving down the road and we're smelling it. It's enough is enough in Portales. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
You'll state your name, please.
William Zachary Smith.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to affirm that you will testify truthfully here under penalty of law?
Yes.
Okay, so what were you guys thinking?
So there's a plaza on that Smith Chiropractic Center that is not being used right now, so we're going to actually have a micro grow and a dispensary in the same facility. So that's,
She brought up an issue. What about water? How much water are you gonna use?
that is being estimated right now, but a lot of it's gonna be reclamation water, so we're gonna be reusing the water. We're not gonna be pulling out groundwater every day, so. And the smell and all that's gonna be filtrated, it's all gonna be indoors, so nobody's gonna be going down the road smelling or anything like that. So,
And you understand where we're coming from with the metal building that's on the property.
that's gonna be permitted, but that's not gonna be used for any of this
Okay.
business whatsoever.
Any other questions, comments?
So this will have to go to the water board on this one too for his stuff. And
Right.
they'll have to make a decision there. We're
Right.
pretty much zoning,
We're looking at,
manufacturing, yeah.
yeah, we're looking at the zoning.
Whether it's manufacturing this or whatever else. And that's kind of what we're doing.
Right, we're just approving the zoning.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Any thoughts, comments? My only issue partly is changing the zone that's not adjacent to a, you know, manufacturing zone. Because we've tried to avoid that in the past. You know what I mean? This doesn't abate a manufacturing zone, it's in a C2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I hate the idea of spot zoning.
Yeah, that's kind of where my thing is, but. At least it's not a residential going to
Right.
this, and so that's where I'm okay with it on this one. But you're right, I mean, once we start down this road,
Exactly. Because we
we
have,
have something to think about.
Whether it's residential or not, it's still a spot.
Yeah, it's still spot.
It's
Still
not
spot
spot zone.
And we've tried to stay away from that.
Now. Right to the south of this building is Privet Electric, is it not manufacturing?
definitely not.
No,
They don't actually manufacture.
They do the t-shirts.
Well, the
If it's
embroidery, they don't make t-shirts. I
That's
mean,
what I'm saying, if it's considered
No,
manufacturing to do that, I don't know.
I don't believe it's considered manufacturing. I know it's not in the manufacturing zone, but I don't believe making clothes is unless there was machines
Physically making the
Yeah.
t-shirts.
that were,
waiting.
yeah.
So help me understand the spot change that you talked.
Okay, so see the R1, C2, manufacturing. So you would take this one spot right here and make it red. And then the only issue we've had in the past with that is then if they decide to sell their business,
And it is already zoned for manufacturing,
manufacturing.
and what else will they bring in there? To
Can
manufacture.
we put that in the motion then, that says that if it is sold, and that's go back to commercial?
I don't know if we can do that.
I know zone changes are usually permanent.
You know, so I'd say that.
Yeah.
What's the record on this? Have y'all done this before? I haven't seen this go across anything I've already done.
I voted against spot zoning and other issues.
I have also.
Years ago, it came before the council and it was, didn't go good either. Just turned it down.
There are variances which are temporary and disappear when a property is sold or businesses change hands. So that's something to consider if that's something you guys are more comfortable with.
I think that can become full of the variance. I'm just like, yeah, I want to get some good manufacturing.
Unless we want to change all that.
Unless we just want to change all that.
I mean, you're kind of in the same boat. Yeah, you're still doing the same thing.
You have to.
You
get
have,
sworn in.
you have to get up and swear in.
Hey.
But we're
And
welcome to listen to your
Yeah,
question.
welcome.
We just
Yeah,
need-
am I good or?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, thank you.
yeah, we just need
You
to
can
get for the
speak from your
minutes.
chair anytime you want to.
You're already sworn in.
Didn't want to get in trouble.
No,
Like
If
that's
you'll
cool.
state your name, please.
Darren Welch.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to affirm that you will testify truthfully here under penalty of law?
Yes.
My question is if they change this from a C2 to a M1 zone, does the property tax change any at all? Cause I've got an adjacent building. And will it change my property status
I
at
think that
all
would
as
have to
far
go
as
with the
tax?
tax assessor from Roosevelt County, then make that choice.
I believe so, but I also don't believe it affects any adjacent properties from what I've been told in the past.
Right.
We will have to go to an M1 if we're in that zone too, right?
No,
No.
this is just specifically his
That-
property.
That's just his property, and that's why we were talking about spot zoning, it's the spot zoning issue. We're not taking your property in.
Yours will remain the same.
Okay. Can I say something else?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of like this lady right here. I think we've got enough of this in Portales, and I know that a new business coming in with revenue, more taxes and all that stuff and more people working. But I would like a survey run with the police and the jail system and all that. The people that are getting caught driving with this stuff and out of it. Is the detention center, is it gonna cost the city of Portales more for the people that are misusing this stuff than this thing is gonna make? As far as a business person, me personally, I can't see that it's gonna make any revenue at all, but.
Well,
I would like to study that.
Unfortunately, we just do the zoning and planning, and it's actually from the state that says we can't really restrict who comes and how many. Because the
law, it stated that.
state law has made it to where the city, anywhere there's commercial property, cannabis can be sold.
Okay.
So we really can't.
We would only be
Stop that.
changing this zone, all this would stay the same, which is where you guys are. So this would turn red, but everything else would stay blue.
Because I'm all about that.
Yeah, so you'd stay general commercial, but if this was approved, this would turn red,
Okay,
but it wouldn't affect you at all.
okay, and I'm one that voted no on it.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to exit public hearing. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Christensen,
Yes.
Mr. Heflin,
Yes.
Ms. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. James,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Watkins,
Yes.
Okay, we're back in regular session, so. We need a motion to approve or deny or alter.
So what was the recommendation by you, Kelly? What was the variance?
So the applicant is okay with the variance, you could approve a variance with the recommendation that the unpermitted building not be allowed to be used for anything that results in this variance.
And the variance would allow it to go to the board.
Well,
But yeah, it'd be temporary when the property sold, it would revert back to the
but
city.
you have 200 variance. You okay with that?
When the property's sold, but he
Or-
doesn't have to sell it, he could lease it out and he could go to another M1
As long
manufacturing.
as he remains the signatory for his business license, then yes, but if the business.
So it could
changed-
change manufacturing status,
Mhm.
even if he stopped growing something, he could put something else manufactured in there as
No,
long
'cause
as he owned it.
He'd have to change his business registration to reflect the new company, and then it would be denied because the variance will only cover the
What's
grow.
going right now.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
not what you said though a while ago.
Okay, no, if anything changes, the property owner, the nature of the business, when they go to redo their business license, this variance only covers him to do a micro grow.
Okay. That clarifies that.
Okay. Well, then I'll make a motion to approve this variance from commercial to manufacturing with the altercation that if the business is sold or a business license is changed, it reverts back to a manufacturing license or a regular commercial license without permitted building. I'll second that.
Okay,
Did you get that on the minutes?
I didn't get who seconded it. Mr. James, okay,
call the roll, please.
okay, Mr. Christensen,
Yes.
Ms. Bennett,
Yes,
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Heflin,
Yes.
Mr. James.
Yes.
Mr. Watkins,
No. So that will go to the city council in 2 weeks. Well, yeah. Will you guys approve it before it goes to water?
No, we won't ever see it until we'll be the last ones to see it. We'll have to go through all the committees. And assuming that it doesn't get approved in water, then if the dog doesn't get approved, if you don't get his business license, so therefore it stays back as commercial.
Right, because it's only for micro growth.
That's right. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. Our next item of new business is a public hearing for resolution PC number 2023-2024-07, a resolution providing for a variance at 107 Yucca Drive. This would allow a carport that won't be setbacks in a R1. So I'll entertain a motion to go into public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to go into public hearing. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Christensen,
Yes.
Mr. Heflin,
Yes.
Mr. James.
Yes.
Mr. Watkins.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett,
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
So this is a variance for a property at 107 Yucca Drive. The property is currently zoned as an R1, which is single family residential. The variance is requesting to do a carport. Currently, we request a 5-foot setback from the front property line. Due to the way the house has kind of been built, the property owner isn't able to meet that 5-foot setback. So the carport would go right up to the property line. It would 100% be on his property. We sent out 10 property owners letters, 5 utilities. 4 property owners that responded were for it. And then we had 1 phone inquiry, which was also for the proposal. The utilities did call to check to see exactly where it was going. They looked over the plot plan and said it wouldn't interfere with any of their utilities. So they were okay with it as well. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to stand for comment.
So it's protruding towards the street.
Yes. And routinely, they're about 5 foot off the inside of the curb is where their front property line starts.
So this will be right, it looks like it looks to be right on his property line.
Yes.
So that'd be right up against the sidewalk.
I'm not, I believe if there's a sidewalk, then yes, the sidewalk usually is. But I do have someone here who, I think it's the property
Do
owner.
you want to get up, and get sworn in?
You'll state your name, please.
Rustin Lujan.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to affirm that you will testify truthfully here under penalty of law?
Good evening.
The building will actually be even with the neighbor's property line. It will not come forward. Can I approach?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's going,
It's just gonna follow the same pitch of the.
Oh, it's gonna be up the side of
Yeah, it's just gonna be next to
the
the
side
garage.
of the house.
Oh, our plot plan looked like it was in the front, so that was my
I'm
bad.
just going right towards the neighbor.
Yeah, I drove by and I saw your pickup parked there.
Okay, so yeah, that's why I'm leaving
Oh,
that.
it's going up to the neighbor's property.
Right on the property line, but if you see the pitch, it will drain on my property and nothing will be in. And I would like to continue my fence.
So it's going over the
Right
trail.
on the property line, but it is now.
It's not coming out to the street.
My property, so.
Okay, it goes up to the property line of his neighbor.
Yes.
How far is there any residence from that property line? From that property line to the resident's house, how far is that?
So our minimum yard requirement is 6 feet. So they'll be at least usually 6 feet from either side of that property line.
Where the stake is will be fine. So it's your pickup on your.
Oh, 6 feet from the side.
From the side house, their side yard.
Actually, right where the stake is.
So he'll
That would be my.
He'll need variance.
Yeah, it would still need a variance.
No,
It
it's
still
gonna,
won't
it's
get
just gonna continue up my other garage, it's gonna be right next to
side.
it, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Out the way.
yeah,
this
here's
is-
my deal. Yeah, I understand, and you're going towards the neighbor. You're gonna be right up to his property line, from his property line to his house is 6 feet. Correct?
Sure. I think it's quite a bit.
Is it harder?
Yeah, right, 15. Like I said, there's those three stumps.
Okay, as long as there's room, because we have denied those before when they were too close to the next property.
He's got 3, 4 grown trees.
Okay.
This side, it's probably closer to 12 feet. on the side.
Okay, so there's not a fire hazard of any sort, because between houses, you have to have so much space for a fire.
Here's that AC. Okay, now that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to, like I said, I don't have much room with my AC and my trees there. I'm trying to avoid cutting the trees down. And like I said, I don't have enough room to park if I don't.
So by the looks of it, you'll be building this, not ordering it, right?
What's that?
Will you be building this?
Yes, I'll be building it and
Yeah, so it'll be a prefab.
no, it'll be like a 4-inch purlins, 6-inch purlins, 4-inch tubing, and it'll be the metal view panel. And you can see how much.
Yeah, there's enough space that we will not be endangering. Because sometimes you start out with a carport. And then you think, oh, I need more storage, and then we have a wall come up around it.
2-car garages, but I have 2 daughters.
And then all of a sudden we have paint and stuff stored in there and fire can happen.
I actually have 2 buildings behind my house for storage and.
Okay.
And it's, yeah, that's it. Been yelling quite a bit lately, and like I said, my 2 daughters might start driving, so. Any other questions, comments?
No.
I will entertain a motion to go out of public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to go out of public hearing. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Christensen,
Yes.
Mr. Heflin,
Yes.
Ms. Bennett,
Yeah,
Mr. James,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Watkins,
Yes.
Okay, we're back in regular session. I will entertain a motion to approve or deny this variance for a side property.
I'll make a motion to approve it. Second.
I have a motion to approve in a second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Christensen,
Yes.
Mr. Heflin,
Yes.
Ms. Bennett,
yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. James, Mr. Watkins,
Yes.
So. 2 weeks. And go to the city in 2 weeks, Bill. And do you contact them usually?
Yeah, 2 weeks, we'll sometimes send some updates if it's got emails, and then we send approval letters after everything's been approved and or denied.
Thank you very much. So our next item is any other business matters known or.
From staff side, we are no longer doing consent agendas. So all of these will go, not with the procedure I explained last time, but we'll go back to,
That didn't last long.
it did not, but explaining each one. So they'll, starting I think tomorrow.
We're gonna follow the board committee, because there's a lot of stuff on the agenda from our committee. You know, we had a list of stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Anything else? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those approved?
Aye.
We're adjourned.